My name is Stephen Moe, and I work for Perryfield Lawyers here in Christchurch. And I want you to imagine, and many of you don't need to imagine this, but you have a great idea for a social enterprise, okay? And now I'm going to give you 3 scenarios, and you have to decide which one you want to be. Okay, so you got to work with me here. Hello, I am a charity. You really need to choose me as your structure. The reason is that when you say the word charity, people will know what you're about. They will know that you're talking about doing something for the good of other people. There's automatic assumptions. As soon as you say you're a charitable trust or charitable company, people will make assumptions about what you are. So I think that you should choose me as your structure because I can access grant funding. This is really important because when you go to the government or the city council, one of the things they're going to ask you is, are you a charity or are you for private gain? Now, I have to tell you there's some downsides of choosing me. The first downside is that you may have a great idea and I'm sorry, I can't really, in the long term, give you dividends. So you're going to have to sacrifice yourself for the charity, and you might work for decades and you might not actually see much return, even though your idea was what inspired the business. So that's kind of a downside, I guess, but let's be positive. You should be a charity. Hello, I am a company. I am a for-profit vehicle. Everyone knows what I am. I'm all about making money. The reason that you should choose me is that I can return dividends. And if you have a great idea, those dividends can flow back to you as a shareholder. Not only that, you'll be able to go out to investors and they'll easily understand what sort of structure you are, and you'll be able to say that I'll be able to give you dividends. That charity over there, they can't do that. So you have a real advantage if you choose me. Now, there's some downsides of choosing me as well. For example, if you do need some funding from central government or local body, you're going to have kind of a hard time because you won't have a charity number. And it's very difficult to explain that you're actually doing something that's for purpose as well as for profit. So that's kind of a downside. And the other thing is when you go to investors, you're going to have to explain yourself quite a lot because they have assumptions that you're for profit. So as soon as you say, actually, I want to help children or I want to help a disadvantaged group, your investors are going to have a really tough time understanding what you're talking about. Hello, I'm from the near future. I am a social enterprise company. And I came into existence because in 2017, there was a Social Enterprise World Forum, and it was held in Christchurch, New Zealand. It gathered people from all over the world. It brought people from Scotland, it brought people from Canada, from Australia. Everybody got to exchange ideas. And what happened next was amazing because people realized that there were benefits of a charitable structure and benefits of a for-profit company structure. And what they did is they said, well, neither one really suits a social enterprise company. What we need is something in the middle that could actually take the best bits of being a charity and take the best bits of being a company. What they also did is they talked with people from Scotland, Canada, and the United States, where they had already introduced this type of social enterprise company. They took all the best bits from those other jurisdictions and they put them in a pot, they stirred it around, they consulted with stakeholders, and then they made this amazing new creation, which is me, the social enterprise company. And it leaves aside all the worst bits of what's been done internationally, and it takes the best parts. But it's unique and specific for New Zealand. It's really appropriate. And the first thing about me is that I have a unique name. I'm a social enterprise company. What we found was that elevated the conversation. All of a sudden people were saying, well, what is a social enterprise? Because there was this option of being a social enterprise company rather than being a charity or a company. So it actually increased the dialogue about what social enterprise was in the first place. The other thing is that I was able to provide people to go to investors because I'm allowed to return dividends it's possible to have private gain. So that's kind of the best bits of my brother over here, the company structure. But as well as that, people understand that I have purpose built in, because my constitution has it written, hardwired into who I am as an entity. So that's taking the best bits of the charitable side of things and baking it in. And there's also limits on the amount that I can return to my investors. There's some restrictions. I'll let you figure out how much those restrictions should be, in the next few months and years. But there's definitely some restrictions there. And also, this is really important, but there has to be reporting back on how I'm meeting the purpose, what I'm doing to achieve my goals, because people realized that there was a danger that the term social enterprise started being copy-pasted and put all over the place, and it became a term that didn't have true meaning anymore. So there had to be strict reporting on what the social enterprises were actually doing. So I come from the very near future, and I hope you get to meet me sometime soon. Thank you very much.